Biologists regularly study such groups, often using video observations to understand various aspects of bird behavior. Computer vision-based methods to automate the process are limited to 2D tracking solutions. To address this problem, we designed a novel method to track 3D movement of animals with a motion capture system. We created 3D-POP, the first dataset with 3D ground truth for position, posture, and trajectory with identity information for up to 18 different pigeons. Our dataset contains up to 6 hours of recordings in different group sizes of 1, 2, 5, and 10 pigeons from 4 different perspectives. Finally, we showed that the dataset is effective in tracking birds without any markers. Let's have a look at some realistic experimental setups. The video shows an experiment in social learning with great tits. The other setup is to study evolution of family living in Siberian jays. Behavioral scoring in such experiments is largely done manually. As you can see, the birds interact with each other in 3-dimensional world. However, we can only extract 2-dimensional information with existing computer vision methods. A close look at existing literature suggests that animal tracking is gaining interest, but there are few gaps to be addressed before applying these methods to the problems in ecology. Existing methods have focused on extracting 3D information with some clever ideas. One of the biggest problems for biologists is that such methods are not backed with quantitative results. Some approaches also use multi-camera information with classical 3D triangulation techniques. However, these methods require many annotations and hence demonstrated in use cases with single individuals. Similarly, multi-object tracking and identity tracking are equally important while studying animals. However, existing solutions have largely focused on solving this problem in 2D domain, because creating such ground truth with animals is extremely challenging. A closer look at publicly available datasets reveal that most datasets have 2D annotations for either posture, tracking, or identity, but not all of them together, and certainly not in 3D. Available 3D ground truth is for specific animals or completely virtual datasets. In summary, we do not have methods to produce accurate 3D ground truth with wild animals. According to us, this is the biggest bottleneck in pushing the research ahead. Recently, we demonstrated that motion capture systems can be used to capture 3D body orientation and gaze information in birds. This is done by applying 4 markers to the head and a backpack worn by pigeons. 4 markers are sufficient to compute 6 DOF pose of head and body. Intuitively, we use a simple observation that features like eyes and beak always move along with the head. This means that head tracking by extension provides information of eyes and beak in 3D. We realized that we could use the same method to create millions of annotations and build a large-scale dataset just like the ones for humans, for example, human 3.6M. This idea allows us to extract position of key features without physically putting markers on them. But this is only possible if we compute the key point features with respect to the markers. We added 4 video cameras to the setup to capture different viewpoints. We recorded the sequences with groups of 1, 2, 4, and 10 birds from a pool of 18 individuals. Once the sessions are recorded, we need manual annotation of 9 key point features for each bird for approximately 1 to 5 frames. Once this is done, the system uses the 6 DOF head and body tracking to assign annotations automatically for the whole session. Our pipeline also extracts bounding box and trajectory information directly using mocap tracking. Most importantly, the backpacks also allow us to maintain individual identity information in the dataset. We designed 2 sample applications to show effectiveness of the dataset. As we stated above, motion capture is already being used to study gaze information in birds. Currently, there is a separate procedure used to identify the position of the eye. we show that our method computes the eye positions with similar accuracy. This will result into saving time for ecologists who want to study gaze without designing separate customized setup for computing eye positions. Another application is to fill gaps in the motion capture systems. As stated above, when the markers are not visible, motion capture system is not able to predict the pose of the head or the body. We created a synthetic dataset by carefully removing the frames from the motion capture and then use the keypoint detector to triangulate the 3D positions. In future, we can use this method to replace the gaps that are introduced by the motion capture system. Finally, we think that the dataset is already capable of solving problems for scientists who are studying pigeons in the indoor environments. For other biologists working with birds and other animals, they can use a similar framework to create new datasets. With this method, we hope that biologists will get more chance to create new type of datasets, which will then help the computer vision community to solve problems related to 3D tracking, identity, and posture. With a collection of such datasets, we will be able to solve the problem of tracking animals in the wild.